hate moving. I don't know any other way to say it. I fucking hate moving. I swear to God, the next time I have to move, I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna. And if I do, I'm gonna be smart enough to fucking get everything squared away months in advance. Get the apartment months in advance. Set up the movers months in advance. I'm gonna do it all. I really hate moving. I feel like I've been beat with sticks. And this is only day 2, and I've got 4 more days to go. All right. Anyways, it will get progressively easier as the week goes on, and I have the dolly, and I think I can fit pretty much everything in my car, except for the bed. Fuck the bed. I'm getting a new bed. And the dresser. Fuck the dresser. I'll get a new dresser. Like, that dresser was my childhood dresser. I'm fucking not even kidding. It's the same dresser I had when I was 10 years old. It's the dresser that my brother had before me. It's old. It's broken in many ways. The drawers don't really fit well in it. I think it's actually time for a new dresser. I'm gonna throw that shit out there. So yeah, I think I've actually kind of resigned myself to just moving what I can in the car and saying fuck it to everything else, whatever it is. I have been able to divorce myself of give a fuck of everything, all of my possessions. I don't care. Whatever I can't move, it goes on the fuck in the trash. I don't give a shit. I will replace it. I will have that shit delivered to me. Like, I don't care. I have like a computer chair that honestly I could just sit in for the rest of my life. I don't even give a fuck. It's just because it's easier to move than anything else. Alright, enough complaining about that. RNC, night 2. They should call it RNC, part 2. The Hatch Act. Because, man, that's all anybody's talking about is fucking hatch. I'm gonna be honest. I watched the whole fucking thing, start to well. I mean, I didn't watch what I missed when I was still talking to you guys when it started, and I'm watching the screen again. Day 3, expected speakers. There's 25,000 of us watching just a card telling us what's about to happen. But I watched the whole fucking thing. I missed Mike Pompeo because I was like, I want to take a shower, and so I took a shower through the lady with like the giantest fucking facial features. Now, I'm not saying she was ugly. Honestly, I thought she was actually quite attractive. But she had giant fucking eyes. She had a big nose that fit her face well. And she had a huge mouth. I don't know who she is, but she was the late, like, it was funny because I was getting up to go to take my shower and I had it paused and I'm looking at her face and I was just staring at her going, this reminds me of like in Fallout when you're making your face and you just maximize the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I'm like, this is exactly what it reminds me of. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Like, so, okay, now whenever I do that, it's not going to seem so odd anymore. But because, like I said, she was actually quite attractive. Like, it worked for her. I don't know. Maybe she's got a giant head. I have no idea. But I went to go take my shower when she started, and then I missed one of the Trump kids. I don't remember which fucking one. Whatever. And I missed Mike Pompeo. And then I came back. I rewound so that I could listen to Miss Trump speak, because I wanted to hear the First Lady, her speech, and I thought it was lovely. There were parts throughout the whole RNC wherein I caught myself with a giant stupid grin on my face, because it was just cool to see certain things happen. I thought the immigration ceremony, I thought that was fucking cool. I thought that was neat as fuck. I'd never actually seen that live. I mean, I've heard the oath before. I know what the oath is. The oath of fidelity. I've heard that shit. But it was cool to see, 5 people actually go through the process. And talking about attractive women, one of them in there was, I'm not gonna say which one, but oh wow. Because like when she was standing there, her hair was kind of covering her face, and I was like, I don't know what's going on there. And then when she walked up and had the certificate, I was like, damn. So yeah, we got a new hottie in the country. Yeah, it was cool to see that. I thought it was cool to see that dude pardoned. Apparently, he has turned his life around amazingly and is helping other people do the same. I'm in full support pardoning the man. I thought that was awesome. Like I said, the First Lady's speech from the Rose Garden was very cool. All of the little, propaganda commercials that they played were actually not, terribly bad. It was talking about, achievements and real people, talking about how Donald Trump has helped them and shit like that. And then you had Mike Pence interviewing random citizens in front of a half-built log cabin background. I was kind of like, alright, like that. And I will say this, that was probably one of the funniest parts of the night, because he's talking to this little kid who, I don't know, was sick with something, and Donald Trump let him try dangerous shit, and it wound up working for him. So let's talk to this kid. And like he's talking to this kid, and at the end of talking to the kid, he like fucking musses the shit out of his hair and because it's Mike Pence, so he's got a little pinched up face normally, and it was just so fucking, oh my god, that face was hysterical. Yeah, Mike Pence, what a funny guy. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was neat. I thought the First Lady gave a very beautiful address. She hit on a lot of key points. It was the heartfelt, softer side. It was the other side of Donald Trump, his better half. And yeah, I thought that was very nice. Everything she said, I thought was very cool. She addressed the violence and asked people to stop being violent, and I thought that was nice. That's, everybody should take her advice. This is First Lady telling you, oh, shut up. And then I wake up today, and all I see is the Hatch Act, and I'm like, eh. And I don't know. Okay, it's against the Hatch Act. All right. I don't know. I don't know what the punishment is for that. Like, what happens now? So, like, is he off the ballot? Like, I don't know what's going on here with the Hatch Act. Is it like, is he gonna get fined? I think he can pay it. It's Donald Trump. So, what happens with the Hatch Act? When he breaks it? What is he not president anymore? I don't know. I don't know what the punishment is. I don't know if it's one of those things where it happens all the fucking time. I don't know when any of that kind of shit has ever happened at RNCs or DNCs in the past. But I also have never ever watched one before. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happens now. But I thought it was nice. And everybody was talking about how it was doom and gloom again. And I'm like, I didn't get that at all. It was all very uplifting. I'm like, the whole thing was all very uplifting. They started off pardoning a man. And then they rolled it into some speeches that were kind of nice. And then they did some they made citizens of people. And then they talked to some more people. And a couple of them gave some pretty fucking jury, shit. But everybody was like talking about how great America. Well, I mean, I guess that would be the darkness to them. But everybody was talking about how great America was. Like, it was all about, team spirit. It's all about America, man. America. Fuck yeah. You know, like I don't know what you want, man. Like that what I would love to see. I would love to see one of these nights done by a leftist. Yeah, what do you want? What do you think is appropriate? What should we do? Just to see what they'd say. Like, if you were doing this like it was the DNC, what would you want us to do? And let them do it. And be like, what do you think? We're doing it the way they want us to do it. Just to see how it goes. What do you think of this? It'd probably be the best ratings of any night. And people would probably resoundingly go, yeah, we like the way you were doing it before. So, I don't know what to say. But I don't know what the punishment is with the Hatch Act. I don't know what's going on with that. And personally, I don't give a shit. I thought it was nice. I thought it was cool to see. I thought it was a great civics lesson in many respects. And I thought it was disgusting that somebody pointed out that Melania had an accent. Why can't she speak English properly? Why don't she speak American? And I'm like, I'm sitting there the whole time listening to her, because, dude, I gotta tell you, it's been a thing in my life. I suck with accents. Like, the thicker your accent is, man, the less I can understand you. We actually fucking learned out a crude sign language between me and all of the Burmese dudes that I had to work with when I was working with them, because it was frustration until we figured that out. Because I can't understand. Their accents were so shit. RNC started. Their accents were so thick. God love them. I loved every damn one of them. They were great fucking guys. Everyone, hardest fucking workers in the plant, I'll tell you that. And they were great people, but I couldn't understand a word that they said. And they spoke English, but their accents were so thick, I couldn't do it. There was an Indian dude at work, great guy, couldn't understand a word he said. I worked with an Iraqi dude, and well, he's an American, but he grew up in Iraq, so he has that, you know, and he has that accent, and it took, like, he had to kind of work on his accent for me to be able to understand him, and God bless him, he did, you know, and like, he said it helped him, you know, I don't know, but he, you know, as the accent started to fade, I started to understand him more and more, and I was like, got to a point where I can understand him, and then, you know, the growth stagnated, so I don't know. If this asshole can understand me, I should be good, because I suck at it. I worked for a dude that was an Indian guy. I worked in a motel, like one of those right off the expressway motels. I worked in that thing for like a couple of months. I was third shift guy. I was night guy. And we were allowed to watch TV. And I was like, well, I'll watch TV. And that was fun for a while. And then I was like, I wonder if I could take my PlayStation in there and play video games. Right? Because I'm like, I'm watching TV. Somebody comes in. I stop watching TV, help the person. Or I hook up my PlayStation, play video games. And when somebody comes in, I can stop playing a video game and help them. This is right? Like, same thing, right? In my mind. So I brought it in, and the guy, I think his name was like Raymond, he came in, and he was like, I don't know about, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I don't know. And I explained my logic to him, exactly what I said to you guys. And he went, eh. And like, it was fine for me to do that. And I'm like, cool. You know, like, he was an awesome boss. Never understood hardly a word. I could always understand my name. And he always said my name exactly like that. And I love the dude to death. He was great to work for. Like, like the office was off of his house. His house had an office built onto it and then a hotel behind it. So he lived there. So like, he would fucking wake up 2-3 o'clock in the morning, come down, see how things are going, how many rooms. We got like 2 more left, man. I'm working on it. But yeah, he came in there, he'd sit and watch me all fucking night. He was kind of weird in that respect. Oh shit. Sorry. There's a dude, I think, doing the Pledge of Allegiance, got no legs. That just kind of stunned me for a second. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, where was I? Really? Oh, yeah. And so I'm like watching Melania Trump. I could understand every word she said. So, I don't know, maybe, oh shit, it's Christy Numb. Hold on.
Here tonight because I believe America is an exceptional nation, founded on 3 principles: equality, freedom, and opportunity. But today, our founding principles are under attack.
Tell me about it.
This year, the choice for Americans is between a man who values these ideals and all that can be built because of them, and a man who isn't guided by these ideals, and coincidentally, has built nothing. Remember, America's battle for independence and fight for self-governance was something that had never been done before. Men of great intellect and wisdom, like James Madison, the father of our Constitution, hoped our constitutional republic would last for ages, mitigate the problems that would naturally arise from political factions, and prevent tyranny. Madison also authored much of the Bill of Rights because he understood the natural tendency of government to increasingly encroach on the people's consent.
Give me a history lesson, baby.
Our freedom. He urged his colleagues to adopt these amendments to enshrine in our Constitution the ideals laid out in the Declaration of Independence. That all power comes from the people. That the government is created and ought to be exercised for the benefit of the people. Our Constitution guarantees the right to speak, to assemble, and to worship. The right to arm ourselves as a counterbalance to a standing army. And the right to a fair and equitable criminal justice system. We must fight to protect these foundational rights from government interference and indifference. America is unique in the world. Government's power at all levels is limited to the confines of our Constitution, which protects our God-given liberties and civil rights. We are not and will not be the subjects of an elite class of so-called experts. We, the people, are the government. Now, at times, our country has struggled to live up to our founding principles. Another great American, Abraham Lincoln, knew that struggle better than anybody.
Yeah.
When he was just 28 years old, Honest Abe felt wild and furious passions worse than savage mobs, he said, taking the place of reasoned judgment. He was alarmed by the increasing disregard for the rule of law throughout the country. He was concerned for the people that had seen their property destroyed, their families attacked, and their lives threatened or even taken away. These good people were becoming tired of and disgusted with a government that offered them no protection. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it does!
It took
I was just about to say that!
4 years to build this great nation, flaws and all. But we stand to lose it in a tiny fraction of that time if we continue down the path taken by the Democrats and their radical supporters. From Seattle and Portland to Washington and New York, Democrat-run cities across this country are being overrun by violent mobs. The violence is rampant. There's looting, chaos, destruction, and murder. People that can afford to flee have fled. But the people that can't, good, hard-working Americans, are left to fend for themselves. The Republican Party's commitment to individual rights and self-government is as necessary today as it was in 1860 when we won our first presidential election. Our party respects individuals based on who they are. We don't divide people based on their beliefs or their roots. We don't shun people who think for themselves. We respect everyone equally under the Constitution, and we treat them as Martin Luther King Jr. wished, according to the content of their character, not the color of their skin. In just 4 years, President Trump has lifted people of all races and backgrounds out of poverty. He shrunk government. He put money back into the pockets of hardworking, ordinary Americans.
Like me.
He has advanced religious liberty.
I like that.
He protected the Second Amendment. You can look back 50 years. You won't find anyone that has surpassed President Trump's success on these 4 issues alone. History chooses its heroes for the time in which they live. At our founding, Madison was one of the chosen. When the nation's very existence was challenged, it was Lincoln's turn. Thanks to these men, America is a land of hope. Their examples have been repeated in countless ways by simple Americans following their conscience. But there is another American hero to be recognized.
Me!
And that is the common American.
Woo!
This is who President Trump is fighting for. He's fighting for you.
For me? Man. It's like she's speaking right to me. Crazy. Fucking crazy. I like Kristi Noem, man. First of all, she's fucking hot. Second of all, she's fucking way hot. Third of all, she's really, really hot. And fourth of all, she's pretty cool. I'd vote for her. She's a piece. Anyways, and I'd vote for her just because she's a woman. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know, man. Like they come up, that people speak, and then there you go. You got a little taste of night 3. Maybe tomorrow I won't talk about the RNC. You got your RNC thing. Everything so far seems to be all right. Kristi Noem is a piece. So yeah, I'm have a good night. I'm gonna fucking go and probably go to bed right now because I don't give a shit. Go to bed. I gotta edit this shit. Fuck.